What's going on, everyone? My name is Veronica, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. How would your life change if your self-awareness improved? This channel is all about self-awareness and ways to improve your life. So let's get into organization tips, things that work for me. Maybe it could work for you. Let's start with the night before any day, basically. I like to think about what I have the next day, obviously, and run through the day in my head to think about what I need, like most people do. The more detailed you get, the better prepared you are. So the night before, I know this may sound silly, but I lay out my clothes before bed. Sounds like a child, but there's a reason we do that for kids. It makes for less stress in the morning, less running around, you searching for that favorite top or the pair of jeans that are in the wash. All of that stuff, that running around, gets done before bed calmly when you're not in a rush. Step number 2, I think about food. I am a huge snacker. I need to snack throughout the day, so I prepare my snacks, I prepare my lunch, I think about filling my water jug, I put things at the edge of the counter as close to the door as I possibly could get it, and that's done as well. My personal thoughts on snoozing alarms, it just stresses me out. I'd be too scared that I press stop instead of snooze, and then I just would keep sleeping. Like I have a huge paranoia about being late for things, which I'll get into in a second, but snoozing just doesn't work for me personally. If it works for you, that's great, and you put a couple of alarms before you actually have to wake up, but I just have a hard time falling back asleep knowing that I'm waking up in 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later. I just can't go back to bed. So I put my alarm at the time that I know I need to get up. I have a one shot, that's it. Like, it's the time that I put it, and I know I have to get up or else my day will start to become rushed. I am not a person that has trouble falling asleep. I have heard that putting your phone plugged in an outlet far away from your bed is great because it allows you to get off your phone earlier and, get off that blue light and just start to unwind quicker, and it helps people with sleep. So that could be good. And if you like to snooze your alarm, this is also good because it makes you have to get up to shut off the alarm. And then once you're up, just get up, you know what I mean? I have a paranoia about being late. Anybody who knows me personally knows that. I think it's actually a beautiful thing. There has never been an instance where I have been early for something and it has ruined my day. Being early for things is what I strive for rather than just on time. When I'm speaking to a client and I know that I am meeting her at 1 o'clock, as it is transferring through my brain and onto my phone and my calendar, it goes in at 12 o'clock. And it's like a tick that I just don't want to change. I love the feeling of knowing if there is traffic, if there is a snowstorm, if there is an accident, if I get lost and take a wrong turn, if there is no parking, I am good. It allows for such a stress-free life. It is a huge, huge thing I recommend doing. Obviously, an hour is a bit extreme for some people, but I always have things to do in the car, podcasts to listen to, things to read, work to do. There's never sitting around doing nothing, twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the client to arrive. I don't believe in that. There's always something you could be doing to be very productive. I'd rather have a stress-free life and then get things done in the car or in the coffee shop or wherever I'm meeting the person than rush and stress and manifest bad things on the way. Or worse, have somebody wait for me. That is like my number one thing I do not want to ever happen, is have somebody wait for me. A friend, family member, client, that's not gonna happen. But getting into the habit of having your appointment enter your phone 30 minutes prior to the actual appointment, I think is a great habit to build. It has often happened where I've arrived to my client or the job or where the event, and there's an issue going on that they're having on their end, and I'm there to help. It's great because you're helping people, you're solving problems, especially if they're hiring you to do something within that field. You're there and you can go problem solve. That's great. It just looks even better on you, and it's just all around. There is no losing to being early for things, just winning for everybody. Let's talk about to-do lists. I love to make to-do lists. I have a note on my phone. I'm sure a lot of you do too. I like to divide it in a personal to-do list and a work to-do list. And it sometimes happens by mistake where the to-do list ends up melding into one overwhelming to-do list where it's charge batteries, pick up this at the grocery store, and it's all of a sudden work, personal. You just don't know what to do first, and it's very overwhelming and confusing. Separate those. Everybody has work and everybody has a personal life. So on the to-do list, I like to prioritize them in order of priority. And I like to sometimes do that backwards, where I look at the list, I'll jot everything down of what comes to mind that needs to get done. I'll reverse engineer it and say, what is the least important thing on this list? And I'll put that at the bottom right away. And then I'm like, oh, okay, not super urgent. Next. Second least important, don't need that right away. Next. And then build it up backwards so that you're like, all right, the things I need to get done today are these top 2 on this list and these top 3 on that list. And that's easy, that's good, I can handle that. Chunking things down. I wanted to talk about the mentality around making your bed in the morning. I'm sure you have heard before, making your bed in the morning is great to do, but do you know why? It really does allow for us to feel like we've completed one task. The first task of the day is done, completed, check mark, and it gets us in the momentum of completing another task. It's like an old saying, I think my mom told me in the army or something, where if you didn't get anything done that day, at least you made your bed. At least you got one thing done. You feel automatically organized in the morning when you're leaving your room. That's nice and clean, that's organized. Go off to your day. And when you get home, who doesn't love coming home to a nice, clean, made bed? And the last thing I want to talk about today is something my dad created called Sunday System for Success. It is a 7-step system to maximize your time. The steps are prepare it, audit it, envision it, group it, schedule it, resource it, emotionalize it. So let's go through them quickly. First step is prepare it. One of my favorite quotes is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. People who know me know that I love to organize things. I'm the organizer of my group of friends, of the family. I'm always thinking like 5-6 months ahead, to the point where people are like, okay, like that's coming up, but it's not now. Let's not talk about it now. But I'm like, no, we need to plan it, because if we don't plan it, then not everyone will be able to make it, and we won't know what we're doing, and no one knows what they're in charge of. And I just love to plan. We'll leave it at that. But the first step is to prepare it. So grab your agenda, grab your calendar, grab your notebook, grab whatever it is that you use to look at your week, your phone, whatever it is. Step 2 is audit it. So we look at the past week. By the way, this is all done on Sunday night, Sunday System for Success. Sunday night is the best time to do it. So step 2, audit it, look at your past week, figure out what it is that worked for you in the past week and what didn't. Celebrate the things that worked for you and notice what didn't, so that you can bring those good things and leave those not so good things in the past and figure out a way to make it different in the next coming week. Step number 3, envision it. Envision what you want to create this coming week. What's important? What do you want to get done? Work, personal life, health. What is it that you want to have happen? And close your eyes and envision it. Group it. So this is one of my favorites. I'm all about efficiency. I love that. I love getting things done at the same time. So are there any tasks that you can complete? Organize it that way, where if you have to go to the grocery store and the bank and the gym, if it's all in the same strip mall, great, get them all done within the same, couple of hours. What can you do to group things together for maximum efficiency? Resource it. What appointments do you have, and what do you need for each appointment, so that you are prepared? Do you need a certain outfit that needs to be dry cleaned? Do you need certain equipment for your work that needs to be charged? What do you need for those tasks? Maybe mark it down next to the task so that you know exactly what you need to bring, and don't forget it. And the last one is emotionalize it. Now, this one might seem a little bit out there for some of you guys. If you're into manifestation, then this won't be at all out there for you. Emotionalizing it means getting into the state that you want to be in when you're having these things happen. So what kind of week do you want? Do you want it to be positive? Do you want it to be productive? Do you want it to be energetic? What kind of mood and energy and vibe do you want your week to be? And then you have to get into that state, whether that be standing up in front of your agenda, whether that be sitting down, closing your eyes, feeling what it feels like to check things off your list, to go to the gym and feel healthy. That's what emotionalize it means. Even if you could just do it for a few seconds, if it feels weird for you, a few seconds of just emotionalizing things and thinking about what you want and trying to manifest that and attract that into reality is a great start. So start small, start with maybe a couple of these 7 steps if it's a lot to start with, but I think this is a great system. I've linked it in the description box below if you want to check it out and have this written down for you. Sunday System for Success took him years to master a nice formula, and I thought it would be cool to share. So that is where I'm at in my self-awareness journey of organizing my life. I still have ways to go. I am nowhere near perfect. I just thought I would share with you things that do work for me and things that I have gotten good at. I feel like I have a million bags with me all the time with my work. I have tons of different purses and duffel bags and knapsacks, and sometimes things get misplaced and sometimes I'm searching for things, but I'm working on it. I hope there is something that you learned in this that you could apply into yours for maximum efficiency, because we all love efficiency. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.